I get to play Robin. That's my Batman, and I don't know who else is. We got all the villains over there, Two-Face and Joker and Riddler, everybody else in the Western Conference. But we got a lot of games to win.
He's been here before. He understands the nerves and the adrenaline and the expectations, and none of that rattles him. You can tell he's a dog and a winner and loves these type of environments. And
what does the nickname Playoff Jimmy mean to you?
Yeah, he's different. He's different.
Oh, just how different. What does it mean when the Warriors decide to add some firepower and get Jimmy Butler in the lineup? This shows what he's capable of. Last night was the 184th time in Steph Curry's career that he scored 35 or more points in a game. But it was the first time in any of those games that he wasn't the Warriors' leading scorer. And Udonis, you're going to have to break this down for us because, as Draymond said, we've heard playoff Jimmy, playoff Jimmy, playoff Jimmy. What makes it so this guy goes from pretty good in the regular season to elite in the postseason, and what does that unlock for Steph Curry?
Ultra competitor. When the lights are the brightest, that's when Jimmy shines the lightest right now. If you look here, Steph has the ball. He throws it. Now freeze it here. Once this ball goes to Draymond right here, every defender should be face guarding their man. Draymond is a passer in this situation. He is not going to score. The first thing they did, return it here. Jimmy is an underrated cutter. I think he doesn't get enough credit for the way he cuts to the basketball. He sees plays and he's ahead of those plays. Now you get back. We talk about Jimmy. I love that they freeze it here. They set Steph to set the pick and roll, so they know this man is not going to hedge off him. That means Jimmy's going to get 2 feet in the paint. This is when Jimmy feels the most comfortable, but Jimmy is a pass-first guy. He finds Draymond. This is the symbiotic relationship that they've had for years. Steph coming off that pitch, we've seen that over and over. Game time, you know what it is. Chef Curry does what he does best. These guys, I've never seen two guys that have not played together seem like they play together ever.
Right.
They've literally just really built a relationship and fast-tracked it to see that like he's been there the whole time.
Right.
I love what they've been able to do offensively. They have a hell of a stretch against a good defensive team, but I think they can put some points on the board if these two guys can play at that level.
And that's why Draymond Green is saying, okay, now welcome to the Warriors Invitational here. But you need a little bit of experience as a group, getting through it, going through the mud in order to get to the mountaintop. This team, they have played in pressure-packed moments since acquiring Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline. But Steve Kerr, he spoke about their upcoming first-round matchup against the Rockets last night. It starts on Sunday. Let's take a listen together.
I tried to downplay it a little bit before the game, but we desperately needed to win this game and get 4 days. Our guys have been basically playing knockout games for about 3 weeks, and one high level we get to go to work and try to beat a great team in a 7-game series. There's nothing better.
Okay, so the Warriors have some experience in this matchup, and the odds makers are leaning in that direction. Golden State favored to win this series, according to ESPN Bet. Now, the Warriors are the second 7 seed to be favored over a 2 seed in the first round in the last 30 years here. So, Draymond Green, remember a couple of days ago, guys, he said he wanted to make sure that we're not serving them 5 o'clock dinners, blending up their foods yet, right? He said we're not senior citizens.
I like the 5 o'clock dinner.
I do too, early for the digestion. We should say Steph Curry's 37, 35 years old for Jimmy Butler. Draymond Green is 35 as well. Do they have enough here? We know they have enough experience, but do they have enough to beat Houston?
They have enough, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind that they can beat Houston. This is not your average 7 seed. In fact, I kind of suggest eliminating the word seed from your Western Conference analysis. But the Rockets are going to be tough. I see a lot of people saying today, boy, this really worked out for the Warriors. They lost on Sunday, yeah, but now they get to play the Rockets and not the Lakers. I don't see it that way at all. I think this is going to be a really tough matchup for them. If for no other reason than Houston is big and strong in the interior. They do play Alper and Şengün, who's a little bit of a smaller size center. But they bring Steven Adams in there with them. They play together. We just saw Ivica Zubac.
Ding, ding, ding.
Just crushed the Warriors in the interior on Sunday. He had 17 rebounds. Clippers killed him on the boards. Last night, Zach Edey, 17 rebounds. Memphis really won the boards. You know the Rockets on the interior are going to look to eat on the boards throughout that whole season.
I agree with you 1,000%. And they're young, they're exciting, they're fresh. They got to be excited about this opportunity and the points in the paint. You know, we know what Steph's going to do, we know what Jimmy's going to do, but you can't account for extra possessions. possessions, on offensive rebounds, and that's something they're definitely going to make a point of doing in that game to get extra possessions.
The single most important matchup, I think, in this series is Amen Thompson on Steph Curry. If Amen Thompson is giving Steph Curry problems the way that we saw earlier this season when Steph only had 3 points, the Warriors are going to be in a world of trouble. And yes, Jimmy Butler did play in that game. You mentioned the young blood that the Houston Rockets have here. Well, the Golden State Warriors have some too. They just haven't been using, say, a Jonathan Kuminga for the last 2 game shots. Do you think we could expect to see him in this series?
They need him in this series because you think about the athletes that Houston has. This is why they drafted Jonathan Kuminga. This is why they put so much trust into him. But back-to-back games in this play-in tournament, Steve Kerr essentially tells Jonathan Kuminga, you are not in our rotation. You are not going to be playing. And this is something that Jonathan Kuminga has been really immune to over the course of his career with Steve Kerr and the Warriors. His side is exhausted by a lot of it, disrespected in a lot of ways to someone. You see his numbers in the games. Before his injury, he averaged 21 points per game. He's a supreme athlete, supreme talent. And now he's coming off a few months of an ankle injury, and they have completely wanted him to change the way he started the season. He started the year with the ball in his hand, scoring. Now the Warriors want Jonathan Kuminga playing in the dunker spot. They want him playing slashing, cutting, playing defensively. I think about a guy like Andre Iguodala. That's kind of the guy that they want him to more or less play like. And so how do they optimize him? Because he's really the piece that could take this team to a whole nother level if they can figure out how to utilize him the right way.
They're definitely going to need him. If I could have one message for Jonathan Kuminga, I've been in a situation as a player. I've had situations where Spoke came and said, this is not your series. We're going to go with Shane Battier this series. And as a teammate, you support Shane Battier. So if Jonathan Kuminga can stay engaged, stay mentally focused, he can help those guys in that locker room. And that's the last thing you don't want to do. You don't want to let your guys down. Regardless of how you feel about the coach, regardless of how you feel about your minutes, you never want to let your guys down. So stay engaged and your opportunity will come and you can help this team.
It's that stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And we've seen Steve Kerr over the course of series go to a guy in one and say, you know what, historically this is what Steve Kerr does. We need you here, we don't need you there. He's very matchup related in terms of that. But again, as much as Jonathan Kuminga could be the X factor, the ABC factor is that matchup with Steph Curry and Amen Thompson.
Okay, obviously if you're a Rocket fan, you know Amen Thompson. You become a big fan of Amen Thompson. If you're an NBA fan, you may know a little bit about it, but America is going to learn who Amen Thompson is.
He's a star.
This next 2 weeks. You look at the athletes in the NBA, you're talking about top 1% in America. Amen Thompson is the top 1% of the top 1%. His athleticism is off the chart. We saw it when they played Steph Curry, what was that, 2 weeks ago, guys? Steph was 1 of 10 in that game. Thompson wouldn't let him free. All court long, he's got long arms, he's relentless, he fights over screens. He can kind of cover 2 people at once. His help and recover is elite. His ability to get back onto a player. They're going to use it on Steph. The big thing for the Warriors is going to be how can they get Amen Thompson off of Steph Curry? Because this is a type of defender that you just... I know Steph's played in the league 17 years or whatever. He has not played in a full series against a player like this very often, especially a guy who's 15 years younger than him.
And they have the depth, this Rockets team, to back up their stars, Jalen Green and Thompson. They've gone from 500 last season, Sharpe, to the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. What's fueled this turnaround?
Even worse than that, when they traded away James Harden, they were at the dead set bottom of the NBA, and Rafael's